All right, Sandra, take it away.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Well, welcome everybody. We are so excited that you are here with us tonight. You are here for a reason because somebody has either invited you or maybe you had an interest in what we are sharing with you tonight. We are excited to get this started. So, just quickly, I think everybody is on mute, but if you're not on mute, please be sure to put yourself on mute just to minimize any background noise. We will have some time for Q&A at the end, but if you have a question as we go through the presentation, you could always put it in the chat. If you haven't already told us where you're tuning in from, please let us know where you're tuning in from. We always like to see where everybody is tuning in. And let's see what else. Okay, I think that's it. We've hit record, so let's go ahead and get going. My name is Sandra Cotto, and I've been with Purium now for 2 years. Well, it's going to be just about 2 years here in November. And it's been an incredible journey, both on the health and the financial level. And today we're going to be talking to you about the whole life transformation that Purium offers, health and wealth. And you're going to be learning about Purium, a company of 20 years, who the founders are, and why it's the best nutrition solution for the health problem in our country today. And you'll hear firsthand from Purium brand partners like myself, along with my other brand partners that are going to be facilitating this with me tonight, whose lives have been completely transformed by this business. And then, more important, you'll learn how easy it is to start your own transformation for your health and for your financial freedom. All right. So, we all know someone who has or has had cancer or diabetes, heart disease, and many other lifestyle diseases. And we know that now more than ever, there's awareness of the big problem today in the state of food in this country. And our bodies are constantly being bombarded with toxins. And one source of toxins is what we call ultra processed frankenfoods. I don't know if you've heard that term before, frankenfoods. But why are people eating these foods? Well, because of busy lifestyles enabling poor choices, which in turn result in a lack of sleep, low energy, brain fog, digestive issues, and even worse. And these foods and even many supplements are laden with chemicals, sugar, inflammatory oils, artificial dyes, artificial sweeteners, pesticides, and glyphosate are linked to diseases like diabetes, leaky gut, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. And glyphosate is the toxic chemical in Roundup weed killer, and it's found in many of these foods and even in foods that some might consider to be healthy. Glyphosate is a mineral descaler. It's been patented as an antibiotic. It's insidious and virtually impossible to avoid. It's toxic and disruptive to the gut microbiome, and it's been linked to leaky gut, autoimmune disease, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and many other cancers. We call it, the silent killer. So, why is it important to have a healthy gut microbiome? Well, because 70% of your immune system is in the gut. 90 to 95% of serotonin is made in the gut, which is the feel good hormone, right? So poor gut health can be related to low mood, anxiety, and depression. And so if your gut is compromised, for example, from leaky gut, you really can't absorb the nutrients. So here is the Purium solution, convenience without compromise. This is our Purium Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, what we call the real food solution that's also convenient and even for the busiest of lifestyles, which is one of the reasons why I love it. It's a simple 90-day program that it includes the components here that you see, and it's proven in human study. One of the components are Biomedic is proven to remove glyphosate over a 6 week period. And we have a delicious organic superfood, the power shake that you see there. It's a nutrient dense, satisfying meal. We have our high quality protein, our it's 10 tablets equal to the protein synthesis of a 12.5-ounce steak. That's our super amino 23s. We have a parasite cleanse, which is a gentle cleanse to help eliminate those parasites. We have a natural sleep support, our sleep nightly, again, all of natural herbs. And we also have our omega-3s, which are not in this photo here. But this is why people feel so good when they're on this program because their cells are really being fed and nourished while gently detoxifying. And we know that there's no shortage of people who need to either lose weight, gain energy, improve their digestion, sleep better, and even lift brain fog. And so this ultimate lifestyle transformation really checks off all of the boxes. All right, so here we have some results. Our Purium Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation has really transformed thousands of people's of lives. And here are just really a handful of testimonials. As you'll see here, some before and after pictures of some skin issues. There's been some weight loss before and after, and lots of testimonials of people having some amazing results when they use this program. All right, and now I am going to pass it over to my business partner, Melinda. Melinda, over to you.
Thank you, Sandra. Okay, so let's talk about who is behind this company and these high quality products. So we have Dave and Amy here. These are two mission-driven co-founders and co-owners. We've got Amy Venner here and then Dave Sandoval on the right. And they were really one of the pioneers that championed the USDA organic label before that label was even that came about. They pioneer organic, non-GMO, whole food nutrition, and they've been on this mission since 1993. Amy Venner here, she is the CEO and co-founder and co-owner. She's a mom of two girls, and she had her own personal health journey that helped her see the importance of real nutrition that is convenient and accessible and affordable. So that's been her mission with this company. And then we have here Dave Sandoval. He is our co-owner and formulator of these superfoods and the blends of these superfoods that work synergistically together. He was mentored by giants in the holistic health world, like Ann Wigmore and Dr. Bernard Jensen. And he had his own personal experience of losing a loved one to lifestyle disease. And that's really what has inspired Dave to get on this mission of providing high quality, organic, nutrient dense foods to people. So, Dave and Amy, their high integrity is infused into the mission of this company, and it's reflected in so many ways. First of all, they are the manufacturer, and you're going to see manufactured by on the label. That's very important. After this Zoom is over, go to your cupboards, pick up a bottle of your supplements, and most likely you're going to see manufactured for. So let's find out why that's important. So, as the manufacturer, they have control over every aspect of what goes on into these foods. Let me give you an example. You see this truck here. When it brings these nutrient dense foods to the warehouse, the truck is inspected. And if they see anything like mold or bugs or anything that just compromises the integrity of the nutrition, they are able to reject it. But if they were not the manufacturer, they wouldn't have that ability to do so. So what makes this nutrition different? So of course, it's good for your body. It's all certified organic. We have the only proven glyphosate solution, that active ingredient in Roundup. You will never find any types of binders, fillers, preservatives, anything artificial. There's no added sugar in there. It's just really convenient and affordable to help people get access to high quality nutrition, and very important, it's third party tested. So this company has taken the initiative to go transition into plastic-free, biodegradable, home compostable packaging, all except one product, the super aminos, but everything else is in home compostable packaging. And this is really important for the environment and for our health. Look at this study here. About a teaspoon of microplastics, studies have found, are in people's brains. So imagine, what is that doing to people's health, their hormones? And so by going plastic free, Purium has saved over 300 pounds of plastic from going into the environment. So this company does not leave any stone unturned. So why is now the ideal time to partner with Purium? Well, first of all, there's been such an awareness about ingredients and what goes into our food supply and toxins in our food supply. So people are really prioritizing, number one, their health more than ever. Another beautiful thing is, and you're going to be hearing some stories, is that you can create an extra income to offset inflation, all from your home, from your phone, wherever you choose. And the importance of this is building a plan B before you ever need it. And that, when you have a plan B and things happen in life, it allows you to pivot easily. So that really creates resilience. That's one of the things that I've really appreciated. And so that you don't have to rely on just one source. You can diversify your income. So let's see now. We're going to be hearing from my brother, Eric, who has been with this company for a little while. You're going to be hearing his story. So, Eric, can you take it away now?
Yep. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Eric, and I'm going to be just covering why this category of nutrition is such a recession-proof business today. So when you search for recession-proof business categories, if you just Google search it or you use ChatGPT, consistently, health and food are at the top of the list, and that's because they're consumables. People eat food in booming economies and they eat food in recessions. All people need to eat food. That's one thing we all have in common. The question is, what kind of food do we eat? Do we eat just what we call the standard American diet, maybe processed foods? Do we eat mid-grade food, or do we eat a special class of foods called superfoods, highly nutrient dense foods that fuel our bodies? So Purium is the perfect marriage of both. It offers a powerful opportunity in wellness and nutrition uh, that thrives in any economy. So this business offers residual income that you can leverage. And most people trade time for dollars. In a linear income model, if you're working a job, you work X amount of hours and you get paid for those hours. But once you stop working those hours, so does your paycheck. In a residual income model, which employs a concept called leverage, you can continue to get paid for the work you do over and over and over again. So that creates the opportunity to create more time and more productivity with the time that we have. So this is perfect for busy people. So I just wanted to quickly cover the concept of leverage, because this is a very important concept when it comes to building a residual income and an income beyond linear income. So let's just say you have 10 hours to put into growing a business per week. So if you can imagine, you find 5 friends who want to do the same, also investing 10 hours a week, you now have how many hours a week of effort? Well, you have 60 hours a week of effort. So you have your 10 hours plus the 10 hours that 5 of your friends are dedicating as well. So that's a total of 60 hours a week. So how do you leverage your time? It's by leveraging other people. So with that being said, we wanted to share some powerful testimonials of individuals that have created this kind of residual income. Notice as you hear the testimonials, their backgrounds, you're going to be surprised. Most of them are not people with entrepreneurial backgrounds or marketing degrees. They're people in everyday professions that are achieving extraordinary results. So I'm going to start off with Coach Sandra. You've heard from her already. She's a health coach, and she's built an incredible income already in just a few short years. So, Sandra, you want to share your story?
Yes, thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that. Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, I've been a brand partner here for 2 years. I've been a plant-based lifestyle and mindset coach for over 9 years. And that's when I began my Plan B. I'm currently still in corporate America, been with my corporate company for 21 years. And the goal is to turn my Plan B into Plan A. And so as I was coaching, I found that you can only coach so many people at a time, and my time is limited. And not only do I love the products because I've been using the products off and on for the last 6.5 years, but I finally realized and saw the vision of what's possible when I use these products with my clients. So I didn't have to create, meal plans for them, that I actually had a done for you nutrition program that they could use. And also seeing that, okay, wait a minute, if I can use this with my clients one-on-one, I can also build a team. And like Eric was explaining to you earlier about the time, right? The time that we have and the money and the dollars that turns into, that I can build a business and build a team and actually turn my plan B into my plan A. And so it's been amazing doing this business for the last 2 years, helping my clients in a healthy way as well, and of course, growing my team. And I'm super excited because July was my best month so far in this business. August is already shaping up to be that way, gaining rank each month and getting ready to go to the top. So I love this business. I love the community that we're building. You're not in business by yourself, right? You're in business with others who are wanting to lift you up, who are positive, who are go-getters. And that's what I want to be a part of, knowing that I'm not doing this alone. When I'm health coaching, before I started this business, I was alone and doing it by myself. And knowing that I have this community has been amazing. And it's offered this opportunity, and Eric being an amazing leader and mentor. And so here we are, ready to move on up. So that's a little bit of my story as a health coach. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sandra, for sharing your story. I always love hearing it. We're going to share another story of a mom and school teacher who's created an incredible residual income in this business. Melinda, you want to share your story?
Yes, thank you, Eric. And I personally love my story because I feel that if I can do it, anybody can do it. I am a teacher by profession. I do not have a sales background. I didn't even have a social media account before this. And 5 years ago, or around maybe, yeah, around 5 years ago, just after COVID, I was looking to add on because everybody knows it's not a secret. Teachers are not compensated very well. And I was looking for an additional stream of income. So I thought to myself, well, I could pick up some tutoring clients, but then again, I'm working longer hours after work. When they stop wanting tutoring services, I stop getting paid. So it was more linear income. And my husband had already had a great transformation with these organic superfoods. And I saw my brother Eric, who was making this into his next profession. So I thought to myself, well, here I have my brother who's doing it successfully. Let me just be a little curious and pick his brain. And so, long story short, I jumped in the business with him. I said, help me. And I got a social media account. I learned skills. And so now, when teachers are complaining, like last year, we got a 0.5% raise, not even a 1% raise for the public school system in Broward County. While people are complaining, I am able to extend my impact beyond the four walls of my classroom. I'm able to give myself a monthly raise. And so this has been so profound for me. I get all my organic nutrition paid for, and my vision for this is that what I would like to uh, do is that I have 3 years left in the system to make 30 years as a teacher working for Broward County Schools, and I will be transitioning into this profession. So I'm building it every month, and I love the community. It was scary at first, but like anything, when you do it, you work it, you learn it, and you grow. So that's my story.
Such a beautiful story, and one that I'm personally connected to as your brother. We're very close in age. We're only 18 months apart. We've grown up close our whole lives, but this is the first time that we've gotten the opportunity to work together. And you would think with siblings, could be sibling rivalry, could be friction, could be sometimes, but no, none of that. None of that. We work so well together, and it's been so much fun working with you, sis. I gotta say, it's having a blast doing it. So, you know, I'm excited for what's to come, and I can't wait to see you go straight to the top. So let's do this
Thank you.
together. Well, this is where my time comes up to share a little bit of my story briefly. So I made a transition out of corporate some years ago, but let me just take you back about 15 years. I was working a very demanding full-time corporate job, and all of the stories that you hear about people in the corporate world about corporate burnout, it's absolutely true. I saw that time and time again. I experienced it myself. And I was in a very high pressure situation. I had quotas. I had, multiple bosses that I reported to, begging for vacation time. Of course, it was never a good time to take vacation. I'd put my requests in, and no, it's busy season. No, it's slow season. No, it's this. And well, when can I take my vacation time? Well, of course, in corporate sales, it's never a good time. So I would usually roll over my precious vacation time. And even on vacation, I was still glued to my emails and my phone. And so there really wasn't that time freedom that I enjoy now. And I had was making good money and all that, but the stress level was starting to affect my mental and emotional and even my physical health. And I saw a lot of people go down as a result. So I knew I needed a plan B. I needed an exit strategy. If I hadn't created a residual income back then, I would probably still be stuck there. So with this program, I had an amazing health journey. That turned into a lot of people inquiring, genuinely curious about what I was doing. And the business just kind of opened up naturally. It wasn't even something I was initially looking for. But when I saw it unfolding, I said, ding, 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 opportunity. Yeah, because I'm smart enough to recognize it when I see it. And I said, this could be an incredible opportunity to create something I didn't have before, a residual income stream, something leveraged, something that eventually could turn from a plan B to a plan A. And I started working it on the side. Well, within a few years, I started noticing my income increasing, and eventually my income almost matched my income at my full-time job. And that was a real wake-up call because I said, wow, what if I put a little more effort into it? And so right before COVID hit, perfect timing. I decided to just go for it. And I was able to leave the corporate job and go and build this business full time. And it forexed from there, all during the pandemic when all my friends back in the corporate world were struggling. They were crying the blues, couldn't, everything was shut down. They were like, on furlough and everything. And here I was thriving. And then my next goal was to retire my wife. She worked in the corporate world for 18 years as a executive assistant. And so she was able to leave her job. So that was amazing. And we just enjoy a life of time freedom now. I don't want to make it sound easy, like there's no effort required. It's like any business, it requires effort. And of course, we don't want to make any income claims, but it's created a lifestyle that we could have only dreamed of, a few years ago. I mean, we're able to travel the world. We had, about $50,000 in revolving credit card debt. We bought a house 11 years ago, fully remodeled it. All of this due to the extra income that I was able to earn. So it's been a real blessing. Now, here's been the real blessing, though, is the people I've met along the way. So, in just a few short years, I've been able to build an organization of over 100,000 people. I have a global organization now, and I never started with network marketing experience. So this was a real, very eye-opening to see this unfold, and it's just been the relationships have been so amazing working with people like Sandra, my sister, and Jessica, which you'll hear from in a moment, has been a real blessing. So I would encourage you all to take a closer look and explore further. On that note, we have Jessica here, who is right now in Yellowstone. And Jessica, how is your signal? Are you able to share your story as a former corporate executive, now turned health and business coach?
Yes, hello, Eric. Good evening, everybody. I am camping with my sons in Yellowstone, yes. But let me tell you why I am going to spend the next 2 minutes with you. And I'm here in a public place, so I cannot turn on my camera. I have to respect others, but hopefully you guys can hear me. I got a thumbs up from Melinda. Is that right? Awesome. All right, so I have to share my story. I have to be here with my team as well. So I spent nearly 18 years in corporate leadership before I ever became who I am today, a neurometabolic reconstructionist. And since I was 8 years old, I've been trying to diet myself into an acceptable pattern I was told I needed to fit in. And it took me dozens of diets and decades later to find the balance my biology truly needed. So when I tell you something works, it's not just because I'm new to evaluating a system, it is because I spent a lifetime telling the difference between what performs and what just sounds good or what looks good, right? So my work now is especially, of course, focused on high performers, especially mothers in leadership, like some that we saw here today, women that are carrying both a career and a household and a nervous system nobody taught them to protect. And I've used Purium as one of my core protocols in that work. Generally, the best nutritional program I've ever experienced and not just recommended. And that journey started about 2 years ago through Eric and Melinda. Enough people have asked me, how do I get into this beyond just the product? That it made sense to have this real conversation about it here today with you. So here's what I know after the decades in leadership, research, experimentation, and years rebuilding burnout high performers. The biggest gap in most people's life isn't motivation, it's the infrastructure and the connections that you have. For mothers that I work with, especially, that structure has to work biologically from the inside out. It cannot be just another willpower plan stacked up on a depleted body, using food and supplements that make little to no difference. And we know there's plenty of that, especially in the US. And that's what made Purium different for me. This protocol side rebuilds the body and the cell level in the language that the body completely understands and uses effectively. And the business side rebuilds the income. So on your terms, stacked on relationships that you already have. And the third piece that I briefly mentioned already is the community, which Eric said. This isn't a group of people just figuring it out alone. It's a group plugged into a much bigger ecosystem. Training, materials, studies, education, decades of studies, by the way. People who've already built this and will show you how. You're never doing this in isolation or figuring it out by yourself. This is about building a first or even a second stream of income with a company and a protocol I truly trust enough to use it myself and with my clients. And if it's a fit, I know that you will feel it and you will see it. So I ask you just to take the next few moments, maybe the next few days, and let's talk.
Thank you so much, Jessica, for sharing your story as a former corporate executive and now entrepreneur. And we wanted to just take just a few minutes now and walk you through the the money part of this opportunity, because every successful business needs to be profitable in order to be successful, right? So we just wanted to just take a few minutes and just share with you how you can build a scalable income with this opportunity. I say scalable because ultimately what you scale that to be is totally up to you without any pressure whatsoever. So the first thing that most people look at is, how do I make money with Purium? And specifically, how do I earn back the investment in this ultimate lifestyle transformation? The cool thing is that when you purchase the ULT, we call it the ULT for short. When you purchase the ULT, which is 30, 60, or 90 days of nutrition, which again, as you heard earlier, is 2 meals per day, plus your gut health, plus your deep tissue cellular cleansing. The business opportunity comes free with it. We call it the launch pack. That comes free. Pretty much everything you need to launch your business with success, including your back office, an app to share content, all the tools, the coaching, the mentorship, all of that comes with the nutrition. So it's kind of a no-brainer. But even on the 90-day ULT program, you can earn your money back in 10 days or less. And here's how it breaks down. You share this program with two customers, two people that are willing to consume this high quality nutrition for 90 days, and one brand partner that will join you, one person that gets excited and wants to share the lifestyle with others. And here's how it breaks down. So it's $250 in commissions. We have bonuses called K Club bonuses. You get an extra $25. And then a fast start bonus of $100. That's $375. So that in itself pays for the first 30 days of nutrition. And if you can achieve that in 10 days or less, you can earn your money back. So it's really powerful. So that's the first step. Then other people may want to take it further and earn additional bonuses. In fact, we have a fast start bonus program that can pay you up to $6,500 in fast start bonuses within your first few months in the business. Now, what I love about this program, it doesn't just award the achiever, it also awards mentorship. It awards sponsorship. So if you're willing to be that sponsor, that mentor to others, you can earn matching bonuses up to $4,000, unlimited. So if you're willing to support and mentor 10 people, they each earn $6,500 in fast start bonuses. You can earn 4,000 each, or $40,000. So everyone wins. These are the matching bonuses, again, up to $4,000, which is really generous. So there also is lifestyle bonuses that go up to $10,000 per month. So they start at $300 at the diamond rank. You don't need to know all of this right now, but we just want to give you some highlights. This would be in addition to your payout, so $3,000 to $10,000 in leadership bonuses and profit sharing pools. What you have here is a very generous uh, uh, program that pays through 8 levels. Most compensation plans pay through 4 or 5 levels. This one happens to pay through 8 levels. So I like to describe it as a generous affiliate program. Most people are influencers, they're familiar with affiliate programs that has a multi-level component to it, because an affiliate program, you can refer a client here and you can refer a client there. But if that same customer turns around and ends up referring 4 or 10 or 20 people, you would only benefit from the one referral. This one is going to pay through 8 levels, which is extremely generous. That helps to build the long-term residual income. So there's limitless long-term earning potential. And if you're interested in really understanding how to maximize the compensation plan, if that's one of your goals, we can meet with you on a one-on-one basis and really go over all the details. We just want to give you a few highlights tonight. So, mentorship and support, I think this is so important. We touched on it tonight already, but community is critical. Most of our builders are not career entrepreneurs or people that have backgrounds in marketing. They're people that are learning. In essence, we're all learning, right? We're all students. We can all learn new things. And the learning doesn't just take place from your sponsor or your mentor, it takes place from the community. So that's the beauty of it. As I put in the chat, it's like the ultimate entrepreneurial mastermind. I recall back to other businesses that I started, like traditional businesses, brick and mortar. And there were many times when, as an entrepreneur, I felt alone. I didn't have anyone to call upon, anyone to ask questions to. I felt you almost feel kind of like you're bothering people sometimes if you want to tap into the expertise of someone who is successful, and sometimes they're not eager to give you all the ins and outs. This business not only rewards sharing that knowledge, it's essential to success. In other words, you cannot scale it unless you're willing to share your knowledge and your experience. So it's a beautiful business model. So you may be wondering, how do you get started? Well, the first step is commit to your health first and foremost, because without a strong measure of health, we can't achieve success in other areas of our life. So that's step number one. Step number two is to investigate further the business model, and or if you're ready to commit, get back to the person who invited you to this Zoom. That person has a $100 plus gift certificate towards this ultimate lifestyle transformation and business opportunity. As I mentioned, you get that complimentary, and they also have the steps that you can take to achieve the goals that you yourself set. And I always recommend, as working together as business partners, to set those together, have a plan on how you're going to achieve them, not just having it be accidental or incidental, but with intention. And so, if you're ready to take that step forward, the next step you want to take tonight is to get back to the person that shared this link with you, that possibly shared a gift card with you already, and ask them what the next step is. And most likely, they're going to want to set up one additional call with you where they answer any other questions that you have, and help you get started and enroll. So that's really it for tonight. We have maybe a few minutes for some questions. Do we have any questions that we can answer? Let me stop the screen share here and just we'll the presentation as well and stop the screen share. Okay, any other questions or comments out there? I think Janelle, you had your hand up.
Unmute. Okay. Can you hear me
There you
now?
go. Yep, we can hear you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I am very grateful to be on this call and also grateful to have John Hall on here. He's been very intrigued with Purium for quite some time. So I just kind of wanted to call him out and maybe gather a couple things if he wanted to speak on it, and see what his thoughts were.
John, you have any questions for us? Questions, comments? We appreciate you joining tonight.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And thank you for Janelle for inviting me and calling me out.
Nothing like
Sure,
being on the spot, right, John?
yeah,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I don't mind.
Tell me, John.
I'm a public speaker and a trainer, so I get put on the spot a lot.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I am interested. I'm more interested in, say, and I've talked to Janelle a little bit about, where the products are like grown, developed, and
Hmm.
produced. I see I see that, they do their own manufacturing and that I'm interested. She had mentioned something about volcanic soil, and I'm just kind of interested more about where are the products coming from,
Yeah, that's a
or
great question.
at least the raw materials for the products themselves, right?
Yeah, great question. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are grown in the United States. And the ones that are grown out of the United States are specific reasons for them. Because
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, some of these ingredients, because they are so unique, they're best grown in other environments outside of the United States. But
Right.
anything that can be grown in regenerative soil here in the United States, that's going to be the first place that Purium is going to look for those ingredients. But what I can tell you, and having gotten to know Dave and Amy over the past 15 years, one of the things that they've done over the past 30 years, because they've been doing this a long time, is established relationships with farmers that are committed to organic and regenerative farming. Now, of
Mm-hmm.
course, the farms that they work with are USDA certified organic, which automatically they have certain standards that they have to meet. However, beyond organic, let's take it even a step further because organic is great, but let's take that even one step further. We also need to trust the people that we're working with because at the end of the day, even though they may be certified, we all know there's been examples, and you can research this on your own, of organic ingredients that unfortunately have tested positive for glyphosate. They've
Mm-hmm.
tested positive for heavy metals, which is alarming and somewhat
Yeah.
scary because we need to trust the standards that we're working with. But we also need to trust the people that are ensuring that the standards are being followed and met. So this is why you, when in the farming and commercial industry, you need to have long-standing relationships. You need to have those, have that trust, and that's what Dave and Amy have developed with the growers. And they go out and they inspect. Now, this is again over and above the the governmental standards that they have to meet. And then take it a step further. When the ingredients come in, they're further inspected. We don't just trust, oh, well, it comes from an organic farm, which is okay, it's cool. Well, guess what? When you go to Whole Foods, when you go to Sprouts, when you go to Aldi's or wherever you go and you buy some organic cilantro or some romaine lettuce, who's inspecting that to make sure that there's not any harmful toxins in there, or there's maybe some E. coli, or I mean, this is how we've seen outbreaks, right? Salmonella, because they're not inspected. They're not inspected, yet we trust, right? We have so much trust in our food supply, but yet it's been compromised over and over again. So Dave and Amy, they actually go beyond the legal requirements. They could just take it at face value, but they say, no, we want to further test it. So it gets tested in-house. And amazingly, and I know this for a fact, that they've rejected a number of ingredients that come in because it doesn't meet their testing standards, which are they have a 10-point inspection process, and I've seen this in their facility. So I've gone there to California to see it, and so they test over and above that. And then let's not just trust Purium at that. Let's send it out to be third party tested at that even further. So you might say the level of inspection and testing that go there's no way that we would eat at a restaurant or we'd purchase food from our local grocery store and get this level of testing in our food. It would be impossible because it would just be too time consuming and costly. And we're not saying that all the food that we consume has to be from Purium, but what happens if we maybe shift 20 or 40 or 60 or 80% of our food that we're already consuming over to this food that's maybe grown in a little bit better soil, more nutrient dense, more regenerative, higher testing and inspection standards. Is it possible that this could have a positive impact on our health? Well, there's a very good chance of that. A very, very good chance of that, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the standard of purity and integrity that we're working with. But yeah, it's let's just say they've had growers that have approached them to become suppliers. And it's very, very, very hard as a grower to establish a relationship with Purium because unless you've been working with them for 10, 20 plus years, it's very, very difficult with good reason because they want to be selective. They want to
Yeah,
be selective. Yeah. Unfortunately, you have to be in this day and age, this environment that we're in.
very true. Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Thanks for that. That's a great question, though. Really, really good question. Really great question. Janelle, did you want to add something?
I just wanted to ask if John had any more questions,
Okay.
quite honest. Yeah. Yeah, now, so, you know,
Yeah, yeah. Now's the time, huh?
now it's
I
time.
I don't think so at this time. I mean, for me, it's really just going to be about the proof is in the pudding, right?
That's
So,
right.
I intend on, purchasing, and I've experimented with a lot of things. I've been lacto vegetarian for 17 and a half years, gone vegan, gone raw vegan, done a number of fasts, used a lot of doctor groups, global healing, cleanses, detoxes. So I'm excited to participate and kind of test the quality and see what the outcomes are.
Wonderful. And
Really
John,
enjoy
we
it.
love people like yourself that are really educated and very in tune with their bodies because you're going to know the difference. I think you'll feel the difference. If you've done a lot of things in the past, like you're going to,
He
even
will.
if it's incremental, if it's slight, but you will feel the difference. And your feedback is going to be very valuable to us. So we would really look forward to coming back and hearing from you. But thank you so much
Yeah,
for joining
be
tonight.
happy to share.
Yeah,
Personal story is a great selling point, as you
absolutely.
already know.
Amazing. I think we had another hand up. I didn't say, was it Jessica? Jessica, did you have your hand up?
I did. I was just going to ask you to tell us just quickly, and maybe I don't know if John knows this or not, about the uh, product packages.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's impressive because it's a small detail, but not really. Most of the products that you see on Amazon, of course, we can there's you can go on Amazon. I mean, I get these ads. If you're on social media and you have an interest in nutrition, you every other feed on your scroll is an ad for another product. But if you look at those products, just notice the amount of plastic that's used in the products. And Melinda covered this the slide on microplastics. It's a detail, but I tell you why it's important because you know the old saying, the devil's in the details? When you pay attention to the details, it means something. It means that usually the larger issues are covered too. And packaging is something that most manufacturers they overlook that because it's a number one, it's very challenging. Number two, it's very costly. And we're in an era where manufacturers have to provide the most value for the money. Everything's about cost and cheap. As cheap as possible. So when you go into, let's say, biodegradable packaging, even though that's better for the environment, the cost of production goes up significantly if, as a manufacturer, you can pull it off. It's not that easy. And that's why you don't see every manufacturer doing it. In fact, look and see how many are using biodegradable. Find out of 20, if you find one, it's surprising. Like it's just not being done. Most manufacturers are cutting down. They're trying to go with the cheapest packaging. It's a lot of plastic, it's a lot of cheap materials. And it does sacrifice the quality of the product itself. So the fact that Purium has made a commitment to plastic free, they did that like some 5, 6 years ago now. is a big deal. And home compostable. Yeah, I mean, it may not be a big deal to a lot of people, but it's a testament to the integrity. They even look at the packaging. I mean, it's not just the product itself, but what it's contained in. Because as it moves through the system from farm to family to your doorstep, what happens in between is absolutely going to affect the quality of that product. It doesn't just stop once it's harvested. Like it's not, the process doesn't stop until you consume it and put it into your body. So that is very, very important. And yes, the environment is important. We don't want to contribute to more waste and toxicity in the environment. But unfortunately, most companies are putting profits over people. It's all about the bottom line. What's the cheapest? What makes the most products? That's what they're interested in. And Purium is a mission forward company. They're privately held. They're not governed by a board of directors and stockholders and let's make this cheaper, guys. We got to find a way of making it cheaper just to eke out another 5 cents per item. This is about what's best for humanity, what's best for consumers, what's best for the environment. Great point. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate your time tonight. You've given us something very valuable. We don't take that lightly, so thank you so much. We appreciate spending this, 50 minutes with you or so. If you do have questions that come up, please get back to the person who invited you. Ask them how you can get started today. Join our mission, join our team. We need people like yourselves who are passionate about helping others, who are passionate about the environment, or passionate about health and wellness. It's really important. In fact, it's one of our qualifications. So you got to possess those things in order to, to really be successful at this. So thank you so much for joining, everyone. And as I said, if you would like the recording to the first part of the call, please get back with the person who invited you. And we look forward to supporting you on your health journey and your business building journey with Purium. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thank you,
night.
Eric.
All right,
Thank you,
thank you guys.
everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.